Rinkcast, what's up? Draft week. Here we go. Hope you're all doing well. Andy Campbell here with Sean Fitzgerald, Jimmy O'Malley, and the Bard. The Bard is back. And welcome back, Bard. Doc Holliday already on here. And Doc, did you see Sean's t-shirt? He wore it for you specifically. There we go, Doc. Big fans.
I'm the Huckleberry.
He's your Huckleberry. Awesome. Chase Reed, here we come. We'll see. We're going to do, each one of us is going to do our prediction for who the Blackhawks are going to pick this weekend, but we got a lot of other stuff to cover. We're going to talk about the NHL. How are we all doing? Jimmy, how are you doing, first and foremost?
I'm doing great. I'm out here in the great state of Wisconsin, just enjoying
Excellent
the outdoors.
place.
I don't know, but it's great to visit.
Wow. Jeez. Jimmy, he was quick to cut you off. Sean, other than cutting Jimmy off, how are you doing?
I lived in Wisconsin for a number of years. I didn't enjoy my experience there. But I apologize to Jimmy, and I'm good.
Awesome. Andrew Bard, long time no see, my friend. If anyone doesn't know the Bard, he's one of the guys. And he's back for the first time in a long time.
Probably since October, November, maybe November. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a while. What's up, fellas? I missed you guys.
What's up? Good to see you. I missed
this podcast. I missed the large and powerful and influential audience that we have. I miss Gate. I miss
all three of them.
Yeah, all three or four.
All three of them.
Yeah,
it's so great. Yeah.
Well, I think it might be down to two after that kid graduated. That was a big fan of me.
Oh, that's right, Nelson.
Big Bard guy.
That's right. Yeah,
Nelson, which is just like a Simpsons thing, but.
I forgot about that. That's awesome. Folks, before we get into it, you can, from 500level.com, use code THERINK at 500level.com for 30% off of any t-shirt. The Rink in all caps. We're going to play a quick promo ad right now, and then we're going to get right into it. 500level.com. Their t-shirts are absolutely outstanding. Make sure you're into it. Here we go.
Oh. 100 Levels one-of-a-kind graphic t-shirts immortalize the legends of the game. Our officially licensed designs invoke memories of the most iconic athletes. MLB, NBA, NHL, and NFL players, WNBA, and NWSL, plus WWE and UFC. Sign up today and get 10% off your first purchase. Plus, free shipping on orders over $100. 500 Level. Live like a legend.
Unreal. Good stuff. Great t-shirts. 500level.com. Get them there. I'm going to start with Jimmy here as we start off here. Jimmy, let's talk real quick about where the Blackhawks are in the offseason. Let's talk about everything that is going on with the trades. Obviously, Brady Tkachuk is traded yesterday to Florida. He's got, a no movement clause, a full new movement clause. What it cost what it cost Florida was futures, and that's it. And you see that, and you kind of go, oh. And it's such a drag. But at the same time, like these no movement clauses, they're going to kind of hold organizations hostage. Is that going to make Kyle's life a lot harder? It seems like it is.
I mean, yeah, because let's be honest, I'm sure Chicago is a great destination. This team has a lot of history. But right now, I think guys around the league know they're 2 to 3 years away from being a very serious contender if everything goes correctly. You look at the list that Brady Tkachuk presented Ottawa. It was Carolina, Vegas, Minnesota, and Florida. There's a very obvious trend here, and that is contention. Like all these teams are good. They also have a lot of Team USA guys that he knows very well. Carolina had Jacob Slavin. Obviously, Florida, you have your brother. Minnesota has Quinn Hughes, and Vegas has Jack Eichel. This is just what's going to happen. Apparently GMs like to give out no movement clauses like they're candy on Halloween. And
like
Whoppers. I think the biggest thing with this trade is GMs are going to go, man, handing out NMCs is just not a good idea. But for the Blackhawks, I'm going to flip it to a positive side, is that when you see teams say we're looking to make a hockey trade, reality is going to smack them in the face. Because apparently Ottawa also wanted guys like Anton Frondel and Luosterainen, and Florida said no.
Well, yeah.
And the trade still went through. So Blackhawks have a lot of assets. If they can find a guy in the trade market that would, doesn't have a no movement clause or would reasonably waive their no movement clause if they, if the team said this is the only team wanted to trade you and you want out desperately.
Right.
Blackhawks could still work. That's the silver lining on all this. But it's the reality that guys, if they have their no trade list, we're probably not on the list.
Right. I mean, like Zach Werenski is now rumored to be having conversations with Columbus in terms of should they continue on with their courtship there. And I mean, Sean, Zach Werenski's not going to waive and go to Chicago. And I mean, what do they do in this situation? I mean, they only have futures to offer. So do they have to just go after someone or go after someone without an NMC, maybe someone young enough, or what's the play here?
Yeah, I think you've got to target, like you said, guys with no NMCs. Matthew Nyes has been a big topic of conversation. I know John Chaika has put out feelers and conversations, but he hasn't set his asking price yet. So that's be a guy I target. Also, like Jimmy said, perhaps a guy on an NMC who wants to get out of a situation. I know it's not a popular name, but Elias Pettersson in Vancouver, he's on a no movement clause. He might be desperate to get out of there because they're at the very beginning of a rebuild, while the Hawks are probably we're coming out of the rebuild stage. So maybe that's a guy you target, or you try to find guys that are undervalued by team. Carolina is great at that. Like,
well, look at what Taylor Hall just did. Yeah.
Taylor Hall, but also I'm blanking on his name. The defenseman they acquired from the Rangers, Bardo.
Keandre Miller.
Oh, Keandre Miller.
Keandre Miller. They signed him to a deal. They acquired him, and he was their best defenseman up until the last game of the Stanley Cup playoffs when Slavin took over. So you've just got to find – there are players available. You just got to find guys that fit your system and your mold.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough spot to be in, though. I mean, and it only seems like
no to Pettersson. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Blash did say no. And we do have a lot of comments, and folks, if you're still on, we're going to get to those comments as well. But I mean, Bardo, what say you? And I mean, what is next? And can you even target a big name NMC, number one? And number two, there are rumors, Elliot Friedman in their 32 Thoughts podcast, that we're all of a sudden going to have Offer Sheet City coming up, which at one point was taboo. Do you even see this happening?
No, I don't, because I kind of hear about this every year that I think it's just agents trying to manipulate the market. I don't think it's going to be a thing. It hasn't been for years, and I just don't anticipate it, starting now. As far as what the Hawks can do at this point, look, I mean, I think it's really open every door, knock on every door, and just see what's there and what answers. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there. There's players that none of the four of us may even realize that's out, available out there. How many times have we seen situations where somebody, surprisingly gets traded, a name we hadn't heard of, and after the trade is done, you hear, the millions of insiders say, this was a trade that was in the works for the last 48 hours. They just started, he made itself available. They kept it quiet. I mean, that just happens every offseason, it feels like. It could be one of those. So we could be sitting here talking about somebody we had no clue about in a week or two.
Yeah,
so it's still early.
Usually goes down.
Yeah, it's still early. We've seen how this movie plays out. It's still early. There's plenty of time left. I know there's been some movement. The season is the off season's not even a week old yet. So we just have to be patient.
Yeah, no, I feel that. There's a couple things that are coming in today. What are your thoughts on Offer Sheet and Leo Carson? Something like 5 years, 16 to 18 million per year. I mean, I love the idea, but then what's to stop Anaheim from Offer Sheeting Bedard?
Right.
I mean, I don't, until Bedard is signed, you really can't flirt too hard with a bunch of offer sheets out there.
Exactly.
Or not a player of this caliber.
Right.
Yeah.
Leo Carlson's caliber. I love the idea. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I mean, they just turn around and be like, all right, you offer sheet our top 3 pick from that draft. We'll do the same to yours. And where do we go from here? And this will be really fun to just kind of knock around for a little bit. I get, to that end, there are some offer sheets and some RFAs out there. At the same time, Jimmy, we have not heard anything lately about Connor Bedard and his contract negotiations. And some people have even indicated they haven't even really been speaking. But are you concerned at all about that? I mean, a lot of people like our No Roy's Just Rage buddy is saying, well, they haven't signed Bedard yet, so Katie stinks in so many words. Any concerns there?
Not at this time, because recent comments from Bedard seem to indicate that both sides are just kind of waiting for the draft to be over. This has kind of been Kyle Davidson's MO when it comes to extending guys. It's just, hey, let's wait until the draft's over. Like, this is a big process for us. When we're drafting so high, we have to take the time to focus on this. There hasn't been any bad blood. I think people look at the headline of, oh, they're not talking, as like, oh, like they're scorned. It's like, no, it's just they're not talking because they're choosing not to. They're giving each other time. Like, I would, it's obviously the biggest priority for this franchise to get him back, and both sides know that. But both sides understand that the timeline isn't July 1st. He's not a UFA. It's not like he's going to hit the open market. And the thing about offer sheets that I don't think a lot of people realize is that the guy getting offer sheeted needs to sign it. Like, someone could offer sheet Bedard, and Bedard could go, no, I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
Like, that's happened before. So Sure. And again, like we mentioned with the Wheel Carlson deal, if you start offering sheet guys, you just create a Mexican standoff where everyone is now pointing an offer sheet gun at each other. Remember when Montreal offer sheeted Sebastian Aho? What happened a couple years later? Well, Carolina offer sheeted Jesperi Kotkaniemi.
Right.
Yeah,
and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of headlines. And I think teams look at that situation and go like, okay, Kotkaniemi kind of fell off a cliff, but teams don't want to lose their young prospects trying to offer sheet other teams' young prospects.
Yeah.
It's something. And so we'd be saying if Bedard only signs 2 or 3 years max.
I'll be saying fine. And if I was Bedard's agent, I'd tell him to do that very thing.
Because the salary cap's going to continue to go up.
It's going to continue to grow up.
So you're going to continue to maximize the amount of money you make. It's the NBA did it.
Sign 2 or 3 years, and then in 24 sign the bigger one you can.
Yeah. Did I see something accurate that talks about this year being the last year?
I have no issues with Bedard doing that. Zero.
Isn't this the last year of like 8-year deals or something?
And if you want to go after KD for that one, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Bardo, you're right. That's the last year for 8 years on the term limit.
So what's the term limit going to? 6?
I think it goes to. I thought it went down to 6 term limits. Also, by the way, the date to qualify people is June 29th. So you still, just because Bedard hasn't been signed yet, he can receive a qualifying offer by the 29th, and then they can negotiate terms. Yeah. So it's not.
We said on last week's podcast, if he signs for 2 or 3 years, fine. That's okay.
Other guys have done that before. We look at Toronto, like Austin Matthews signed like a
correct, and then you can blame Kyle Davidson. Correct, and then you can blame Kyle Davidson for that. No roids, no rage, but you can't do it this year. Thanks.
Also, I believe didn't Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, and all those guys sign 3-year deals and then sign their long deals? I'm pretty sure.
I forgot about that. They did.
They signed their big contracts after going into the 2013-14 season. That didn't kick in until 2013. Yeah, that kicked in then.
So it's the maximum number of years for the current team is 7 years. Signing with a new team via free agency is 6 years.
Yeah.
So they bump it down a year because it used to be 7 and 8.
Yep, they're bumping it down a year.
Yeah, the Bowen Byram stuff is interesting. Bardo, what do you think of the Bowen Byram stuff? I mean, do they have any shot? I mean, this is a guy who doesn't have an NMC. You can sign and extend. What would it take to get Bowen Byram in Chicago?
I mean,
hi Jay.
I don't think it's really a huge amount, to be honest with you. I'm not going to, maybe a 2nd round pick and a player, but I don't really think it's going to be really a lot. But
for Bowen Byram,
he'd be a nice addition. It's not like it's, he's not a number 1 guy. He's probably
wow.
You think he's a number 1?
Well, I think he'd be the Blackhawks' best defenseman the day he showed up. Maybe he wouldn't be their best defenseman in 5 years. But I mean,
that's different. That's a different discussion. I mean, the day he showed up, yes, he probably would be, because a lot of the kids aren't really ready to move up to that level. But, I mean, in an ideal world, he would be the number probably in the middle pairing. But you're right. He probably would be in the top pair day one.
Yeah. Day one, he'll be their best left-handed defenseman,
Yes.
inclusive of Alex Vlasic, day one, if they traded for him.
Yeah.
I honestly, the problem is I think it would take a first-round pick and maybe Oliver Moore.
Yeah, I think Buffalo wants players back. They're in their window now. Their window's open now.
I was thinking like a second and like Lardis or something. Or
oh wow,
I think it probably take a first.
I'm high.
I think it might take a first and Bertuzzi for that matter.
Are we overrating Bowen Byram?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Ben Pope was like, well, his analytics are bad, but then he didn't provide any analytics. So
and then Brandon Montour, when he got traded from Buffalo to Florida, was one of the worst defensemen in the league, and he was a first in the prospect.
But I mean, look, I think Byram's a nice player. I don't think he's a great player. I mean, I don't really see how. I mean, look, Troy Brouwer got a first-round pick once upon a time, and
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, during the playoffs, other than Dahlin, was he their next best defenseman? Yeah, including
probably. Yeah, he was better than Owen Power.
Yeah, and they were close.
Yeah. But I also don't want to buy high on somebody who I think is, played a little bit above. I mean, I don't want to buy on Sean Podine. Just because he had 20 goals doesn't mean he's going to be a 20-goal scorer,
Yeah.
20 goals in the playoffs. You remember that run that he had?
Yeah.
Bertuzzi
in a first. Yeah. I mean, that was from a blogger who might not be on the inside.
The only thing
I wouldn't mind giving up Bertuzzi's, salary. I wouldn't. I would be sort of okay on that.
You just got
how old is Byram? Is he 30?
No. I think he's in his late 20s.
He's 25.
He's the same age as Vlasic.
He just turned 25. I mean, he's an asset
forever.
Yeah, he's entering his prime.
Okay, so maybe I'm a little so 20. Yeah, it might be a first. It might be a first next year. I mean, it's not.
I think it's a first. I think Andy's more on the head because if you give up Tyler Bertuzzi, you still have to replace his goals on a team that's starved for scoring as it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I would be hesitant to give up Bertuzzi. But Oliver Moore and a first round pick, that might be the move you make because let's be honest, the Hawks are bursting with forwards in their prospect pool. They don't.
Yeah, and Dr. Holiday actually just sent a message. That's a good point. If you draft Malhotra, you 100% give up more for him, and I agree with that.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, anyway, I mean, it'll be there's still days to go before the draft. We are in draft week. And the Blackhawks be making moves. So
there'll be trades at the draft. Like, let's not players get dealt at the draft.
Yeah.
We have a trade to announce. You know it's coming.
Yeah, something like that.
And Buffalo, you're going to want to hear this.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're going to want to hear this, Buffalo.
Let's go to the draft. Let's make our predictions. Everyone gets their prediction right here. Winner gets, gets the joy of winning.
T-shirt.
The joy of winning. Something of that fabric.
You get.
So, who do the Blackhawks pick? Number 4 overall. Doubtful that they will trade that pick. There's been some speculation they're going to trade the pick. I don't think that's going to happen. Unless a Matthew Nyes or something like that walks through the door, but who knows if those conversations have ever happened, let alone happening now. Who wants to go first? Who are the Blackhawks picking at number 4? Bardo.
And I just gave you what my answer is. They trade up to 2.
Ooh. So you do think they trade up to 2?
I think they're trading up to 2.
Okay.
I just think
now you got to double your money. I mean, what's in that package?
I think first of all, let me give you a rationale. I think it makes too much sense for both sides because I think the San Jose can get a lot of assets moving down only 2 spots. I think the Hawks would give up. Obviously, it's a swap of picks, 2 and 4. I think they would have to give up at least 1, maybe 2 seconds, maybe a first in down the road, if not next year, the year after.
But not one of their firsts. You think maybe either the Florida first or
they have 3 firsts next year because they have Edmonton and the Florida.
They have
maybe, I think they
Florida,
maybe give up the worst of all those first round picks.
Okay. And at number 2, the Blackhawks are picking
Stenberg.
Yes.
Stenberg, his brother Stenberg. Sorry,
his brother.
Bardo, you haven't been on for a while.
All right,
so I'm a little rusty. Leave me alone.
So Bardo goes. Blackhawks trade for number 2 and take Stenberg.
Yep.
Sean, what say you?
Okay, so I don't think they trade up to number 2. I think they're staying at 4, and I think that McKenna, Chase Reed, and Stenberg are off the board. So I'm going with Carson Karls, the left-handed puck-moving defenseman. Elite Prospects has him as the 4th. Fourth best puck-moving defenseman. People say they compare him to Jackson Lacombe or Jake Sanderson. I think he fits. He's going to Nodak. That's my guy.
I like it. Carson Karls. Sean's prediction. Jimmy O'Malley. What do you think, man?
I won't get too into it. I agree 100% with Sean. I think Chase Reed is going to San Jose. I think the conversation between 2 or 3 is San Jose or Stenberg. And recent reports say that Caleb Malhotra has kind of not been the guy that Vancouver wants. So that's why I just don't see San Jose trading down, because if they can't get Reed at 2, can't get Reed at 4, they're not going to trade down. They're going to stick and pick where they need most, which is top flight defensive prospect. They don't have any. And I think Vancouver's going to stick and pick BPA. I think, maybe Veerhoff. I've heard there's some internal conversation, but I don't think it's loud enough. And I love Karls. I really do. I think after the wing, I think left-handed top flight defensemen are what the Blackhawks need. You can make an argument for Smits, but I don't like his ceiling as much as Karls. So I'm going Carson Karls. I think that's a really good pick for what the Blackhawks need. And hot take, Blackhawks get back into pick 25.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a really good take. I like that a lot. Awesome. I am not going to believe the noise around Vancouver not being interested in Malhotra.
I agree.
There's this recent buzz that they're not going to be interested in Malhotra, and so I'm going to go with chalk. I'm going to go that it goes McKenna. Stenberg is going to go to San Jose. It's going to go Malhotra, and the Blackhawks are going to take Chase Reed. Now, if it's Chase Reed or Karls, I'm fine.
Yeah,
that's great. I don't know if there's much of a disappointment with whatever you get at number 4. Even I know that last week we said Malhotra might be disappointing at 4. I don't know if it's Malhotra, it's Malhotra. Obviously, if Stenberg falls to 4, we're all like on a pod fast, like celebrating, shooting off bottles of champagne, and because he's top 6 next year. But I don't know. I don't know if he'll fall. That'd be so great if he did, though. We could really use a break there. So I'm going to go Chase Reed. So we're Go ahead, Bardo. What do you got?
No, I was going to say. Look. People are saying on here that the Blackhawks offseason sucks, which is ridiculous. But maybe they're being very methodical about from the standpoint of try to trade for a winger. Maybe it's also contingent on what happens in the draft. And like you said, same thing with with the Bedard contract. They seem to be focused on the draft, and that they're kind of putting the. Maybe they're having conversations. In fact, I'm sure they're having conversations. They've been having conversations for months. Like these things have been happening forever. I just think that maybe, Stenberg, you get him. All of a sudden there's probably less of a need to go out and get a big time Jason Robertson, a big fish,
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if does Robertson need to waive an NMC?
No, he's a restricted free agent, so he doesn't.
That's good. Okay, so Robertson is someone they could.
So Dallas could trade his rights.
Right.
Yeah.
Dallas has got to move his rights, and I've read. I thought Pagnotta said that Robertson's looking for a number around Rantanen's, and they don't want to pay that.
Yeah. Actually,
that's
no,
like
he wants way above Rantanen.
Oh, he wants 14.
He wants
14. And Dallas is not budging past Rantanen. They're saying 12 and a half max.
They have to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you do 14 for Robertson in Chicago,
Yeah.
Jimmy?
I would right now.
Yeah, given his age and his
J-
scoring
Jimmy,
ability, I would
yeah.
100% do that.
Jimmy, would you do it?
Do what?
14 for Robertson in Chicago right now?
No, you mean pick 4?
14
oh,
million.
14 million.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's just how the market's going.
Okay. Yeah,
You know, this is a 3-time 40-goal scorer.
And
Absolutely.
the cap's going up. It's good. That contract will look good.
I mean, he's 100. He's a 100 point.
Years.
He's a 100-point guy,
Yeah.
isn't he? Didn't he have a 100-point
Yeah.
season?
Yeah.
Close
Yeah,
to.
you gotta go.
I
And
think.
That was
I
an
don't know.
MVP candidate, wasn't he? He was like
Yeah.
a runner-up or second runner-up. Absolutely.
He's up
I
there.
would take
Yeah.
him.
The big thing too is not like the dollar amount is big, but teams are more concerned now with the percentage of the cap you take up. So like 14 million, I'm sure 14 million, what's the cap going to be? Up over 100 million or something, like 103
Yeah.
next year. So that's a little more than 10% right now, but you figure as the cap goes up, that percentage is going to keep going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the
And
Blackhawks
you're
don't have
still
a
paying
bad
nobody
contract to
right
worry
now.
about.
You're paying nobody.
You're paying
Nobody.
nobody. You're going to pay
Nobody.
Bedard, but that was already factored in. But who else is making money on this team? They're all in their rookie deals.
Yeah. Vlasic and
Frank
Nazar
Nazar
paid
got
like
paid,
$6
but-
million. That's chump change with how this
6 million. Jesus. I mean, that was a major contract like 10, 15 years ago when the Blackhawks were in their cup run. Now it's like looked at, if you could get a $6 million contract, you're golden. That's like the league minimum.
Yeah. The stagnant cap kind of capped
Yeah.
salaries for a long time. And now that the cap and the league are booming, that contracts go up.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, we'll see what happens in the next few days. You know what's interesting is Bobrovsky. I mean, everyone's talking about Florida. Oh my God, now they're going to win it, etc. And now they got both Tkachuk brothers. They might not have a ton of goaltending in a couple days.
May I interest you in a lightly used Arvid Soderblom?
There you go. Now,
Unless they pull off the impossible and pick up Hellebuck.
Hellebuck from Winnipeg.
With what first-round picks? They don't have one until 2030.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
who
there
says
you
that
go.
they're going to be looking for a first?
They'd have to move a lot of money to get Hellebuck.
yeah,
they're
no,
the
he's
fucking
only-
Rams. They're the LA Rams of the NHL. They really are. F them picks.
No,
yeah. I mean, at the same time, I mean, Daniil Tarasov is not going to get them to the Stanley Cup Finals next year.
no, for sure.
I mean, they need. They really need some help.
If they can't get
in
so
that.
Merrick and Dave Pagnotta were talking about on the sheet today, that obviously pie in the sky is Connor Hellebuck, and if they can move Evan Rodriguez, I believe his name is.
Yep. And Jimmy, you've mentioned that as a name Chicago might want to think
Yeah,
about.
move him for the 3.5-4 million he's due. Then it frees enough money for Hellebuck. If not, if they can't get Hellebuck, maybe they pivot to the 1-year Jordan Binnington of the St. Louis Blues, who's only due $6 million. He would fit nicely under their cap. He's only a 1-year deal. Binnington plays really well in the the tournaments and when everything's on the line. And if you're playing in Florida right now, like every game's a Stanley Cup, essentially. Like you want to go to the Stanley Cup final with them. So Binnington might be another option if Hellebuck is not in their plans or they can't acquire.
By the way, Hellebuck is paid at $8.5 million. They have about $6.92 million in cap space, and they don't have a backup goalie either. So they got to get two goalies.
They really, they don't have anything. If Bobrovsky,
Tarasov and Bobrovsky are both UFAs,
They're
so they got
gonna
to figure
have
that
to-
entire position.
I think you're right, Fitzy, about what's his name, Rodriguez getting traded because they need to cut salary.
they're going to need to move somebody.
Yeah, he's a bottom 6 guy, and that's going to give him room to get a goalie. So
yeah.
And Bobrovsky wants the term like Marchand.
he wants 4 years at 37 years old, and he's a goalie.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
I've heard 6 years.
6 years.
I've heard 6 by 6. I'm not even kidding.
What is he, Yager?
He wants 6 by 6. He should get hit with a 2 by 4 and knock his brain back into this week.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Mario.
Yeah,
He's
it's a good question.
totally back.
Good question from Jay. Are you guys thinking as time goes on, we aren't going to make a big splash this offseason? Yeah, kind of.
I disagree.
Yeah.
You really think it's coming?
I think so. The draft is Friday. There's going to be deals to be done on the draft day. July 1st is coming up. So teams are probably going to deal guys before July 1st for like a throwaway pick to try to get somebody to get the leg up and sign them. We've seen that before. So
that's true.
I'm not the free agent class is very thin, but I'm not over there. If they can't get Jason Robertson in a trade, they're going to put all their chips on Alex Tuck and try to pay him. And if they can get Alex Tuck, that's a forward offensive forward who helps. And then you could start looking around for a puck moving defenseman to fill in the back end there, which I'm sure maybe there's a deal they're talking about that hasn't materialized yet, or it's going to materialize.
But if they trade up for Stenberg, as Bardo suggests, or if he falls to 4, which we're all dreaming of, which seems less and less likely, do you still go after Tuck?
Yes. You need more goals.
You still go after Robertson. You go after all of them.
Yeah. Stenberg's like, what did Michael Misa do last year at San Jose? And he was highly touted. What did he score? 12 goals?
Yeah, not even. I think it was 12 points. He
really,
but I mean,
you don't want to put all that pressure on Stenberg. Because Misa went 2 last year. You don't want to put all that pressure on Stenberg. I think if you combine Stenberg with an offensive forward like Alex Tuck or Jason Robertson or Matthew Nyes, then I think your offseason is an A+ home run. You win, and then you can address around the edges. You could try to bring in a veteran defenseman to help the back end and stuff like that.
But I'm not sure Misa's a fair comparison because he was a center and had to be moved to wing. And there's no adjustment really for Stenberg.
So then Eklund,
But look, I mean, I think if they end up with Stenberg and then maybe add like another middle 6 winger, and then also like get a defenseman somehow, some way, I would call that a really good offseason. I wouldn't be that to me wouldn't be a bad offseason at all. And I'm just saying 3 players. Like there may be more that are coming. Who knows? But I mean, if they decide to go, then Stenberg and then maybe sign a Tuck or add another by a trade. Obviously, that's a home run because then you're adding all this goal scoring that you need, assuming Stenberg becomes what we think he's going to be. Then that's a home run offseason. No question about it. Because then you're also looking at, okay, well, then you might have to trade somebody like a Lardis or somebody else and use that to get a defenseman. Who knows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Will the Blackhawks pick up Morgan Riley? I hope not.
God help me.
I definitely prefer Bowen Byram.
Prefer Bowen Byram.
He is an NMC.
Mario Ferraro.
Yeah, there's a lot.
He's a good
I go for him. Yes,
although I just read Dom, I can't pronounce his last name.
I mean, if that happens, Doc, I will. I will be out of my mind.
I'd be running down my street shirtless, just yelling, and people would think it's a regular Wednesday.
Yeah, I'd probably be honest with you, doing something crazy.
I think Carlson's a pipe dream. He wants to go to the East Coast. Yeah. I think
he's going to Tampa.
I think
exactly. Yeah, no, and he's
the most Tampa Bay Lightning player I've ever seen.
Yeah, he
has
is.
Never played for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
No, he's 37 years old and he's still pretty good. There's no reason for him to go to Chicago.
Yeah,
no.
I think his agent is floating the Hawks out there because they know that they may have to overpay for him, which will jack up his price elsewhere. So, quite frankly, I just don't think that's realistic. Anybody who's putting that out there, it's frankly, it's bullshit. So,
Morgan Riley is due. His AAV is 7.5 for the next. He's got through 29-30, and he'll be 35. He has a full no movement clause that transitioned into a 10-team no trade clause for its later seasons.
Sean, you sound like you're reading his obituary.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well.
He's got a full no trade clause.
I might as well.
He's a lovely man.
Vince Dunn, maybe.
Bill Moraski.
But yeah.
I like Vince Dunn more than Morgan Riley.
I do. I just think that they'll set a record for allowing goals if he's out there.
Also, Seattle needs an offensive big splash too. Like they have.
No, they need another middle 6 forward.
They have no home run hitter.
And I was over Unger and you were Unger Dunn.
God.
I had to throw that in there because I heard Dunn's. Vince Dunn.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shane Wright might get traded finally.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's a good speculative buy if you're asking me. I think another thing I think the Blackhawks should prioritize is a speculative buy. I think Shane Wright makes a lot of sense. I even think just Barry Kotkaniemi makes sense. Not like a big long-term like investment, but if you give like a a project,
change
rebuild
of
guy,
scenery guy. Yeah.
change of scenery like 1 or 2
Change of
years. Like,
scenery. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Kevin
apparently
Burns.
no one wants Kotkaniemi. So he's probably going to get bought out. So he's going to come over here dirt cheap.
All right, sure.
If you could get Shane Wright on the cheap, I would take a flyer on him for sure.
For sure.
100%.
I mean, how old is Shane Wright? 23?
24.
He's
He was the same draft as
If that? Yeah.
Stefkovsky
Wow.
and
Let's look him up real quick.
Korchinski. Yeah. Happy birthday, Kevin Korchinski.
I could be wrong.
Happy birthday, Kevin Korchinski. We all still hope you work out.
Yeah, man. Looking
Shane
forward
Wright's
to it.
22.
Ooh.
He's 22.
Mm.
Yeah, 12 goals.
Is he an RFA? Because Kevin
don't know.
Korchinski's an RFA, so they might line up.
So they must be, yeah.
I'm on a podcast. What are you doing?
Bard's dog.
I'm glad the camera automatically privatizes the dog's face. Don't want to give
Yeah.
up near.
I don't know why it's
NFT.
doing that. It's kind of weird.
That's true. But Artie's a project. Vince Dunn is 29 years old.
Yeah, that's true.
Good. Fair point.
What
Cool.
about who's Colorado shopping? Who did I just see Colorado?
Nichushkin.
Nichushkin.
Yeah.
Weren't
I don't
the
know.
Hawks
He
name
comes
in
with
the
some
past?
baggage. It's not
Yeah.
fleet of foot. Doesn't
Some
really
things
fit their
in his
model.
baggage.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, he's got a lot going on. I mean, I don't know.
He seems like the
you
kind
don't
of guy
want that.
that like a
You don't
change
want
of
that.
scenery
Yeah.
actually makes things worse.
Yeah.
You don't want to answer that Corey Perry.
That's actually, yeah. That's a really good point. I mean, he would come there. He's in a perennial cup contender. He would come there and maybe just be miserable.
Yeah, and then
And
go back
just
to his
so-
bad habits.
There you go. Anyway. Well, we got a big weekend coming up, and hopefully a lot of stuff comes this week. Folks, we're going to try to, if something big happens, we will jump back on and start a new pod and have some updates for you. If not, we will be next week. But Shawnee, we talked about before the show started, we wanted to give a shout out and give a little love and thoughts and prayers to the Calder family. Kyle Calder passed away last week. I think it was last Thursday or Friday, very suddenly, had a sudden illness and passed away. Kyle Calder, I mean, he came to the Blackhawks at a time when I guess you could say the dollar bill phase was nearing its end, but still at its very worst, where the Blackhawks were not spending money to get better. It was him, it was Mark Bell, it was Tyler Arneson that were on the ABC line.
Yep.
They were kind of this hope of a new day, and it never really panned out. And too much was put on those guys to carry the weight, while Bill Wirtz was refusing to spend money to make the team better during the dead puck era as well. I mean, if you went to those games where it was Jocelyn, Tebow, and Ned, and I mean, you saw a lot of 1-0 hockey games. I remember taking my friend to his first game in 2003 against Phoenix Coyotes to a 0-0 tie.
Oof.
That was awesome.
Wait,
Is he still your friend?
wait.
What?
Tebow didn't play in net that night, right? The backup played.
I don't know who played, but it
I
was
think I was
brutal.
at that game.
Yeah,
I think I was at that game.
Yeah, because Amani was on the Coyotes, and nothing happened all
That's
night.
exactly. I was at that game.
Yeah.
It was so boring.
It was awful, and it was my friend was there from Memphis, Tennessee. It was his first hockey game ever, and not a goal was scored.
I got in with my
yeah.
high school ID for $15.
There you go.
There you go.
At any rate, Kyle Calder, he had a nice run in Chicago, and it sounds like he was a great hockey coach in the community as well, and condolences to his family. And very sad news. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, maybe it was Steve Passmore in net that night. Actually, that's very realistic. It was. Question before we go. Martin Favre. Realistic trade package for Martin Favre. Oh God, if I have to look him up, I don't know. Anyone?
I don't even know who that is.
He's a year older than Bowen Byram, similar output. So maybe slightly less than what it would cost to get Bowen Byram, but let's look at his contract first.
Yeah. Oh, he's in Washington. That's right. Yeah,
he's in Washington. Good. Who knows what Washington's up to? Because they could be breaking it up. He's on the first year of a 7x6. They're not trading him.
No.
I think you'd have to
at the same time. That is a really nice. It's a good take, and that kind of goes on the.
Package of circus peanuts.
But that goes to the Bardo. Like, there are guys out there. You're like, I haven't even thought of that guy, and maybe there's stuff going on behind the candelabra that we don't know about.
Yeah. Apparently, recent rumors are saying like Kraken are shopping Jared McCann, and when I saw it, I'm like, Jared McCann, yeah, give me on that.
That would interest me.
Yeah, I'd be interested in Jared McCann.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of teams. If this year's free agency class is going to be kind of disappointing, the trades are going to be very interesting because Jared McCann,
I agree with that.
30 years old, coming off a 2020 season, but he's reached 60 and 70 points 3 years prior. He played only 52 games last year. I mean, what's his contract look like? How much longer he's got on this contract? He's a $5 million cap hit for one more year.
That's it? Wow. Yeah,
that's it. I'm all in.
Yeah, that'd be a layup. Jared McCann would be a great trade.
I think if the Blackhawks really want to get aggressive, and even if you can't get the big fish like a Robertson or Dorofeev, there's guys out there that like you can really get for the stuff you have and not really feel like you broke the bank. I'm talking guys like Jared McCann, Tomas Hertl. Like those guys could be out there.
I was just reading Jimmy. They were saying if Vegas signs Dorofeev, they've probably got to say goodbye to Hertl because Dorofeev's going to take up a ton of their cap space.
Yeah, I mean, in my article, I talked about like if Dorofeev is plan A, Tomas Hertl could be a good plan B. A lot of people were worried about his health. Then he went to Vegas and had 2 completely healthy seasons. So health concerns are gone. He's a little older. I think he's 32, but
you're right. He is 32.
But if you
there's a world, Jimmy, I think you said it right. I mean, there's a world where they could basically have a good offseason where it's not the biggest names that everyone was talking about, like Robertson, Robert Thomas, all those guys, but still get guys that are productive, like you said, McCann.
Yeah, for sure.
Those guys. There's 100%, and that's an A+ to me.
Yeah.
I think the priorities. In my article, I talked about 3 priorities when it comes to adding. In order, I think it's you got to get top 6 wingers.
Yep.
Even if it's McCann, I still think of McCann as a top 6 guy or Hertl. You need a left-handed
on this
defenseman.
team, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
100%. You need a left-handed defenseman that could play in the top 4. Upgraded version of Grzelcyk. So guys like Ferraro makes a lot of sense. I even said Jeremy Lauzon from Vegas. He's a big hitter. Bowen Byram obviously was in that list. And then I think you got to look at a couple speculative buys. Like Kakaniemi. I think he's a perfect speculative buy. Shane Wright, big speculative buy. I think you got to – we talk about the Florida Panthers a lot. You got to remember they kind of started being really good when they made really savvy speculative buys. Brandon Montour was awful, and then they traded for him. Sam Reinhart looked like he was going down the tubes in Buffalo. Then they got him, and it became a playoff masterpiece. Sometimes you got to take a risk on a speculative buy, and it works. And I think a guy like Kakaniemi who's 25, right? That's 22. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but I think what's interesting is that they looked for guys that were also like they had a specific profile,
right?
And that's what they looked for. Yeah, guys that could skate really well, on the back end. I mean, they're not the biggest, but up front on forwards, I mean, they were looking for size and skating ability, and that's what they got, and it just kind of meshed, but. I know before we depart, we obviously have to pay tribute to Jonathan Toews for retirement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good call. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, what can you say? I mean, that's my captain right there. Best captain in Blackhawks history.
Yeah.
I think you can say that.
And I don't think this is a hot take. He's not the best hockey player to put on a Blackhawks uniform, but I think in franchise history, he's the most important Blackhawk.
Yes, that's totally fair.
I think face of a franchise that has lasted 100 years, he's the face.
Yeah. I think there was, I got a text from a Bruins fan who was very upset when Toews retired. And this is a buddy of mine. And we, went back and forth with him. I said, yeah, maybe Bergeron will be remembered for the better career. We're both kind of trying to be nice to each other. And he said, but peak Taves was always better than peak Bergeron.
Yes.
And he said, and that was actually, I didn't disagree with him. And he wrote, he goes, there was a 4-year period in the NHL when Jonathan Taves was the best player in hockey. He's the best player in the world, period.
And I'll tell you one thing, his stats don't show it. And that's the problem with a lot of people, is that they just look at the box score and they say, well, he never had 100 points or any crap like that. You know, what people don't realize, you know, he was all worldly from a skill perspective, but what he also did was he sacrificed offense for defense. I mean, he was so incredible defensively.
Yeah.
The guy could have won a Selke Trophy every single year because he also was just so focused and conscious about shutting down the opposition that he sacrificed himself from an offensive standpoint to be incredible defensively.
Yeah,
and that's the key of being a winning hockey player. You know,
he could have been more offensively productive than Patrick Kane, and genuinely chose not to. Like, do you guys, you know, if you want to have fun, look at this guy, Jonathan Taves' JFresh like scorecard from like 2010 to 2015. He got 100% multiple times, which means he's like best of best on like multiple like analytics. Like, in an era where analytics were kind of growing in the early 2010s, Jonathan Taves was the darling child of the analytic crowd.
Yes, he
like,
was.
He was the perfect guy for the analytics, and he still probably is.
Well, here's one thing that came up the other day is one player that Jonathan Taves completely owned in his career was Sidney Crosby.
Yep.
He absolutely owned him every time they played. His record against Sidney Crosby was 13-2-2.
Wow.
Head-to-head, Crosby versus Jonathan Taves, when they were head-to-head in 17 games played, Taves had 16 points. Crosby had 11 points. Taves was plus 13. Crosby was minus 15.
Jeez.
Head-to-head against Jonathan Taves.
The only outdoor game they won was against
he was all over him. He was all over him.
And the Hawks boat raced him dog walked him.
And when Crosby took a dive, Taves called him out for taking the dive and yelled at him.
And then scored later in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think from about 2010, 2011 through 2014, 2015, that kind of era, Taves was the best player in hockey.
He was
the best player.
I don't know if you guys remember, but like in 2014, going to the Sochi Olympics, there was a very real conversation about giving Taves the C for the Olympic team over Crosby.
Oh yeah, wasn't it? Who was it? Babcock who had asked?
Babcock in 10 was like, "This is our best player."
Yeah.
In the Olympics was like, "This guy's ridiculous. How good he is."
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But I thought there was a conversation where Crosby had to ask Taves about the captaincy on one of those Olympic teams.
Yeah, it was either 2010 or 2014. I think it was 2014. And Taves kind of just like gave it to him. He's like, "You're Sidney Crosby. You're the face of Canadian hockey.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the C from you."
Yeah. And I harken back to the Red Wings series in 2013 when Taser's in the box, Seabrook calms him down.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then the series turned.
Yeah.
After Seabrook calmed him down, and then Taser got going, and the series turned. And Seabrook even says that's the moment. Yeah. And Taves is like, that's the moment where you knew Seabrook was a captain without wearing the C itself and turned the series. So
wasn't there an international I'm sorry, I was going to say, wasn't there an international tournament that Taves played? Maybe it was before his rookie year.
World Juniors, he went off in a shootout.
Yeah, there was that, but I thought there was another one where he was basically like the best player even amongst like NHL players. And I think it goes to what you were talking about when Babcock was the coach. Wasn't it like an Olympic? It wasn't Olympics.
Well, it was the Olympics in 10, the year that they won the cup. Babcock was the coach, and Babcock was interviewed halfway through the tournament and was like, "This guy is the best player I've ever seen."
Yes, you're right.
He was basically like, I can't handle how good he is. And he was critical of everybody else because he's Babcock.
Because he's an asshole. Oops.
And he's going to be coaching in the league again.
Yeah. The fourth line guys and any support staff, beware.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys heard, but on 32 Thoughts, speaking of Mike Babcock, apparently Friedman said on 32 Thoughts that Babcock met with 3 Oilers players that were assumed to be McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman or maybe Bouchard of the 4. And it was a meeting where they all grilled him really hard. And he went back at them and talked about them, about their own role. And this is why you guys haven't won a cup.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Do you know the last time Mike Babcock won a playoff series? The Hangover 3 was still in theaters.
No.
That's how long ago it's been.
Oh my God.
I mean, I just don't like it.
It's to go out in the first round again.
Is Stan Bowman just like, you know what? I've done everything wrong. Why don't we just throw this on?
Why don't we just
I actually don't think this is on Bowman.
Okay.
What? You think it's?
I think he's actually being handcuffed by McDavid. I think McDavid wants this hire.
Wow.
Like it sounds like this is more McDavid. I want this like hard ass than this Stan wanting to bring him in.
Because they couldn't get Bruce Cassidy because Vegas wasn't going to let him out of his deal. So they got the only other hard ass. John Tortorella was available. Why didn't they go with him?
I think McDavid is kind of like influencing this. Rumor is that's kind of where it's going right now. Where McDavid like playing hardball.
I get it too. I can see Hyman being for it because Hyman wasn't good until Babcock got to Toronto, and then he had some of the best seasons of his career before he went to Edmonton. So I could see Hyman being on board with it too. But like the guy doesn't win. Like if you didn't have Nicholas Lindstrom, the guy wouldn't be anybody in Detroit. And just a little food for thought there.
We had a whole freaking roster littered with Hall of Fame players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he only won one cup.
It's kind of like the Brady Belichick thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, happy draft week, guys. We'll see Friday. Jimmy, you going to do your thing this Friday?
I can host Friday for at least.
If you want to host, I will definitely join. It's just I don't trust my signal out here.
I'll host on Friday, and then Jimmy and I'll do what we can for as long as we want to go.
So draft watch on Friday. They'll at least go through the number 4 pick, folks.
Yeah, for all you lonely singles out there who have nothing to do on Friday night, Jimmy and I'll be.
Yeah, a lot of Rink people will be jumping in here and there, though. It'll be good.
Yeah,
and then we'll be back next week to talk about anything that has happened. Maybe we'll be back before.
It's hockey's version of Friday Night Love Line.
The love connection.
Find that special someone, curl up by the fire. We got you covered with NHL draft coverage.
The sweet, soothing sounds of Jimmy O'Malley and Sean Fitzgerald will get you through the night.
Yeah. We're going to break down this latest in Swedish Hockey League.
You know it.
There we go. Love it.
Well, happy draft week, Blackhawks fans. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will hit you up soon on behalf of Sean Fitzgerald, Jimmy O'Malley, and the Bard. Welcome back, Bardo. I'm Andy Campbell. Take care. Have a great night, and go Hawks.